The other day, I spent almost $100 at the grocery store. I got home, unpacked everything, and immediately had a question. Where's the rest of it? I remember when spending $100 felt like an event. You'd leave the store with enough bags to cut the circulation off in your fingers. Now you spend the same amount, and somehow everything fits comfortably in the passenger seat. If you turn on the news, they'll tell you exactly who to blame. They'll point at greedy CEOs raising prices, broken supply chains, or whichever political party happens to be occupying the Oval Office right now. But those answers are clickable headlines, meant to keep you angry instead of informed. The real reason your $100 bill feels like a 20 is because of something much more boring, hidden deep inside the mechanics of global central banking. To understand this, we have to look past the supermarket aisle and look directly at the plumbing of the global financial system.
Let's rewind to a Sunday night in 1971. President Richard Nixon walked into the press room and temporarily suspended the sharp, definitive link between the United States dollar and physical gold. It was pitched as a stabilization measure. In reality, it was the moment money lost its anchor. Before 1971, if the government wanted to spend $1, it had to actually have the gold backing it up in a vault somewhere. It kept things disciplined. But after that Sunday night, the dollar became a pure fiat currency, meaning its value exists purely because the government says it does. When you can create money out of thin air, an economic phenomenon occurs called the Cantillon Effect. This rule states that the first people to receive newly created money benefit the most, because they get to spend it before prices rise. By the time that new money trickles down to your local grocery store, prices have already adjusted upward to match the new supply. This is where the mainstream media tricks you. They call it inflation and blame it on supply chains. But true inflation is an increase in the money supply. When you print trillions of dollars in a short window, you aren't making things more valuable. You are making the currency itself less rare. You didn't lose your wealth because things got more expensive. Your wealth was diluted because the pool got flooded. Think of the economy like a giant pot of premium tomato soup. If you have 10 guests and 10 bowls of soup, everyone gets a rich, filling meal. But if 10 more guests unexpectedly show up, and instead of making more soup, you just dump a gallon of tap water into the pot to fill the extra bowls, sure, everyone technically gets a bowl, but it tastes like water. That is what happened to your $100.
The government watered down the soup. When the math of a currency flips, consumer behavior has to flip with it. If you want to understand how the global economic machinery actually works, hit subscribe, turn notifications on, and let's keep track of the math together. See you in the next one.